Yeah, nice little junction room. It's came out well. Oh, yes. Yes, that's fantastic. Unfortunately, that does mean I have to get one of those grommets in, and they are an absolute dose. Happy days. Yes. That's lovely. No, let's not do that yet. That would be clever, wouldn't it? This Tory Island design is definitely a little tribute to her. So let's 3D print the tower and let's get building. This is how the tower came out of the printer for me. I'm really happy with it. Obviously I need to do the windows, and the same as before, I need to do that post-processing, take out this little bit of rubbish right here in the tops of the arcs. That's normal enough, so we'll print out the windows in a minute. First though, we'll check for fit, we'll see how the tower goes together, and we'll see if the threads work properly. So let's check for fit and see how the towers go together, and then we can see. That's lovely. So let's see if these thread. Hopefully they will. The test ones have done, so hopefully it'll all be cool, but let's find out. There it started. Yes. Beautiful. Let's see if these go together. I'm going to bring the camera back so you can watch with me. Oh, wow. There it is. There's the lighthouse. Just off the printer now, I've got the windows for the tower. I reckon these are going to need a little bit of post-processing up here, same as last time. Up here, because they've printed from the build plate up this way. So these aren't going to be perfect circles. You might see it there on the screen, maybe not. So I'll get to sand these over. We'll get to opening out these holes properly and then seeing if the windows will fit properly. So let's give that a try and see how it goes. Now that all the windows are in the tower, they're all glued in, we did all our post-processing, we're ready to glue the two parts of the tower together, and then the coupling that we made in episode 3. So at this point, we take the two towers, line up the tabs, glue them together, and then we'll get to gluing in the coupler. Okay, let's get to doing it. Now I do want this glue to act the same as the UV resin before. Do want it to keep water out of the tower. So what we're going to do is we can glue around this whole perimeter around here. Carefully, slowly. Just like that. Then we can place top down. See, there's a bit extra there. I don't really want any squeeze out if I can help it. If I can't, I can't, and that's fine. But if I can help it, I'd rather not have squeeze out, because squeeze out will fog and you'll be able to see it on the black part, the upper part of the tower. Okay, slide these tabs up like that. Okay. This tower, this black, white, black. I've said in episode 1, I used to spend my childhood on an island off the very, very northwest of Ireland called Tory Island. Beautiful little island. If you get a chance to go, I would suggest going there. But when we used to go there a long time ago in the 80s and the 90s, it was like a little trip back in time. It was beautiful. I used to stay with my aunt at the time. Unfortunately, she passed away last year, so this Tory Island design is definitely a little tribute to her, a little silent tribute to her, and the memories that we had and the times that we had up there. So let me mount the coupling on, the one that we made in episode 3, and then we're ready to put a beacon on and put the top on. You'll have seen in episode 1 that this lighthouse is going to have an accompanying lightkeeper's house, and the house will be based fairly loosely on Portland Head Lighthouse. So just here in Portland Head Lighthouse, there's an entrance into the tower. I'm going to use that entrance, that piece right here, as a place to hold our electronics. So what we'll do is feed the cable down through the top of the tower. I remember when I was young, we'd see the lighthouse at Tory, the beam from the lighthouse would sweep all the way across the island. There was something absolutely magical about it. It's easily some of my favourite childhood memories. And this is definitely a little tribute to those memories that we had. So let's get the wire down through the model. Let's get to gluing these together, and then we can get a beacon onto the coupling. I'll need to be careful at this point not to get glue on the wire. That wouldn't be fantastic. Okay, that's plenty glue. So once again, let's line this up correctly. This is the front of the tower. This is the right hand side of the coupling. So let's get that together. And now that is ready for a beacon. This is how our little offboard circuit went for us. You can see I took the button off. This means I can replace this button with a waterproof button instead of this one. Because the other lighthouses that I've built, I used this particular solar circuit, same one as this, but I've always been worried that this is a weak point where the rain can get in. With this one, I decided to desolder the button so that we can put it wherever we like, swap it for a waterproof one. Let's get all this put together. I'm just waiting for the button to come so that we can finish the junction box and put it together and see how the whole thing worked out for us. Happy days. Yes. This is the little junction room, which is a great name for it really if you think about it, because it's going to be the intersection between the lighthouse, the lightkeeper's house, and also, just take it off the build plate, it's going to be where the power button is. This is where the wire for the solar panel is going to come in, and then all the wires are going to come out of here and go into the lightkeeper's house. So yeah, nice little junction room. It's came out well. Going to try and get the cable from the lighthouse through here. You can see I've left a little lip here. Hopefully it'll be wide enough that the wire will be able to fit through, because this goes together somewhat like a dovetail. Basically it's trying to keep out rain, trying to keep out water. So this is the wire from the lighthouse. It comes in here. It'll go back out here again. If it wants to cooperate with me. So through here, like this. Now, this is where we get to see if these go together. See, the issue is, see the bottom of the tower? You can't have the hole somewhere here, because if you try and push it up through, it'll trap the wire, and I'm worried it might do that anyway, but maybe we might get lucky. Let's see, shall we? I think I might just oh yes, that's fantastic. Oh, I wasn't sure that would work, but tolerances are just on the money. Look at that. This is where I'm going to have a little bit of UV resin right here. That'll stop the water from coming in here. Then we'll print the little roof for here, and then you'll have the junction room. Built a little bottom for it also so that we can cover it up. Then that should be all nice and watertight. Brilliant. Let me just get the window and I'll show you what that looks like in it. Here it is. There's the little window that's going to go into that little junction room. May as well stick it on now while we're here. Have a little bit of glue. This is working out quite nice. I'm really happy with this. The first time I saw Portland Head Lighthouse, which is the lighthouse that this is based off of, I used to play a game that some of you might know called City Skylines. And there was a mod on there, a lighthouse mod, and it was Portland Head Lighthouse. And I remember looking at it thinking, God, that's beautiful. And I've always wanted a little model of it since then. And God, that must be a good few years back now. I'm not sure what year exactly, but look at this. That's our little junction room. Beautiful. Very happy. Now, as I said a moment ago, I'll show you a plan of the lighthouse. Right here, this is where our power button's going to go. So you'll be looking at the lighthouse like this, and the power button will be hidden back here, and so will the cable for the solar panel. Great. Unfortunately, that does mean I have to get one of those grommets in, and they are an absolute dose. Whatever, we'll get to it. Let's get the beacon onto the top. Get the top of the tower on. Then we can hook up the circuit and hopefully see how it looks all lit up. Brilliant, let's do it. There's the beacon on. Okay, let's get the top of the tower. No, let's not do that yet. Let's hook it up first. That would be clever, wouldn't it? It wouldn't have been ideal if we forgot that. We would have pressed the button and gone, hey, why isn't this working? Okay, let's get the top on. Oh my. That's really coming together for us now, isn't it? Now it's a lighthouse. That is outstanding. Okay, give me a moment. I'll do this off camera. I'll hook up all the wires and I'll meet you back here in a moment where we'll touch the connections together. Actually, we'll stick it onto a breadboard, press a button, and hopefully it'll work. Okay, let's get a battery. Let's hook up the battery, give it a test. And then if all this works, I'll clear all this stuff out of the way and we'll see what it looks like. So let's press the button and see if it works. Yes! Let's turn off the lights, get a better view and see what it all looks like. Now that all that's out of the way, we're ready to light the beacon. In episode 6, we're going to start building the Lightkeeper's house, which I'm very excited about. For now, let's press the button and see how it worked out for us. That's absolutely outstanding. I'm really happy with that. And with that, Julie's lighthouse is ready. Ready to charge during the day. Watch over us through the night. Thank you for tuning in. See you again in episode 7.